a little bit of history of the chokes. In here, we like calling the chokes the gray.
Neutralizer.
Is
Equalizer?
Neutralizer even sounds better. I usually call it equalizer. But again, if you're mounted on somebody and you got a good mount and they got a kimono on, the chokes are coming, if you guys understand them. And what I wanted to do was give you a little bit of history, because you probably don't even know this, but when I first started jiu-jitsu, my jiu-jitsu coach, Pedro Sauer, he was phenomenal at chokes. And he was a smaller guy like me, but every time he grappled, everybody always knew they were gonna see the lights go out. And you wouldn't even know it. It would come on so smooth that you would just be grappling and then you're thinking somebody's turning the lights out and okay, but big, small, didn't matter who it was, Pedro was getting on your neck. And this is why, if you look at some of the old school Pedro Sauer black belts, like Frank Cucci, my instructor, Greg Nelson, Jeff Curran, Eddie Camden, Tiger, all these, Joe Gray, all these guys are phenomenal at chokes, because with a gi on, it's so hard to stop. And this is one of the main things from the guard and from the mount that I always try to focus on with the newer students, is how to put the chokes on. One of the main things on the chokes is the setup. So when she learns to choke standing or on the ground, we always go on our knee first or standing up, but we do the chokes from here. So she opens, and this is a very hard concept here, just even setting this up. But when you set it up, you want to go deep with this one to where the name tag is, and then leave your hand really relaxed, okay? But that blade's ready. The second hand's not that important. You go under or over. There's always a piece of gi you can grab. And when she goes under, now here's the important part, is how she chokes. She's gonna use her elbows to the back. And this concept was so hard for me, because once you get on the neck, you want your elbows to flare. But the power comes from the back and the triceps, okay? So she's gonna pull this to her back this way, and choke happens fast, okay? Now, if the setup is good, what you're doing after you get the relaxed grip is when this one's set up, it turns. And that's one of the secrets to that hard choke, is you're using the blade on this and this. And then the third part is the air is going to get cut off here as you do this. So just think of a tricep. Now, once again, Pedro, when you watched him grapple anybody, your neck was always in danger from every position. And if you're always doing this, everything else makes it easier to do. Whether you're passing somebody's guard or you're trying to mount, they're worried about their necks getting choked, they're giving up position. But yeah, just a little bit of history where the chokes come from Pedro Sauer, one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the history of jiu-jitsu. And he used to roll with Helio all the time because he was so gentle. Helio Gracie would use him as one of his training partners. And he was best friends with Rickson, so he got to train with Rickson almost every day, which again, his jiu-jitsu is on the level of astronomical compared to anybody I've ever grappled with. And the reason I say that is because Pedro was always so smooth. And that's the goal for me, which I will never reach, but I always want to grapple with the technique in mind and try to choke you without you ever knowing it. Okay, did that work today?
No, I knew it.
I'm nowhere near it. I'm nowhere near, but check out Pedro. He's got a lot of videos out there and seminars. I recommend you guys make sure you attend one or check out his videos online. Phenomenal technique that I'm always going to work up to, and Melissa and everybody in jiu-jitsu should. But shout out to all the Pedro Sauer black belts out there that are still doing the choking. Make it a great day. Is that good?